Hello, my beautiful, and welcome to this video. So, as promised, I'm doing this walk through my program, and I'm gonna show you how it can help literally anyone. And I wanted to be a little bit creative today. I didn't want to overwhelm you with like these are the practices, these are psychological tools that we're gonna be doing. I used my energy of creativity and number three to actually bring you some guests. So, through their stories, I hope you're going to see yourself in not only one of them, but maybe you'll see the tendencies from different guests in yourself, and you can see how the program can help you in your life. Not only right now, but you're going to receive that tool that you literally can use your entire life, after the program. So, most of you know me. My name is Julia Dars. I'm a transformational coach, and I've been doing it for more than 9 years. However, I started, this work trying to navigate my own hardships and my own difficulties. And everybody probably know my story, but I just want to kind of tell you a little bit of it again, just so you know that I'm not just sitting here. And why not to do this? I'm deeply connected with each one of you, and I'm deeply connected with any hardship you're going through, because I think I've lived it all, to be honest. And now at this moment of my life, of course, I understand why I chose to have those experiences. So now I can really be compassionate and resonate with you and give you the tools that work in order for you to shred those things that blocking your life and step forward into your true life. I moved to the United States from Belarus. I was 20 years old, and I was bombarded with many things from my subconscious mind, like I need to get married and I need to, immediately have kids at 21. So I felt behind a little bit when I was 22. And I met a guy, and I thought, well, he is okay, although I didn't notice a lot of red flags, and I married him. Fast forward, divorce, we entered a business together, and I ended up with $75,000 debt. I lost my identity. I lost understanding of what I want in my life. And because we were connected, right, as the family, and he would tell me what to do and what I want. So in my culture, we say that a woman follows the man, right? I don't want to say that it's necessarily wrong, but if the man is a good leader. However, this is what happened. I was heartbroken. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I was also in a point where I had so much money I needed to pay my debts. So it was a horror movie, for me. Fast forward a little bit more, I was trying my best, and I went through another emotional toxic relationships, and the person was quite narcissistic, I gotta say, but I knew that I needed that experience for something. I didn't understand back then why. So I moved to from New York to South Carolina to Los Angeles, and then I moved to Texas, Austin, where I met another man to probably finish up the experiences with toxic people, I gotta say. And I wasn't really navigating my life correctly. I didn't let myself rest. I didn't let myself to just enjoy the life and open up a lot in myself. And even though I was doing a lot of work and I was already working with clients, for me, I knew that I'm playing small at that moment. I knew that I am meant for more. I knew that I can do more. However, I didn't understand what that more was at that moment. And I didn't know how to do this. I was comparing myself to other successful people. I was comparing myself to people who were born in America, for instance, and English is their native language. And I was so afraid that if I make mistake, people are gonna laugh at me. So all of that, those beliefs, subconscious beliefs and programs were running the show for me. So it was almost like I knew I wanted a different life, but I didn't know how to turn it around. And as the last resort, my body gave up, and I lost a lot of weight, ended up having almost dying. Thankfully, doctors spot that, at the right time. And I ended up with type 1 diabetes. The journey of healing was quite difficult, and I was going through pain and not being able to even go anywhere or participate in any activities. I had this 1 year of just trying to have a normal walk without me fading or without me feeling like I just ran a marathon. And after that, I had another 4 months of just excruciating stomach pain where doctor said everything is fine and I didn't know what's happening. But deep inside, I was understanding that I wasn't living my true self, my true life. And I was literally keeping myself in a box of guilt, shame, beliefs, and, not believing into myself. And I asked for a tool with I'm a curious person. I'm a researcher. So I studied every possible book on psychology, subconscious. I read a lot on brain surgeries and how it all operates because I wanted to understand myself, to be honest, also helping my clients, but I also wanted to understand what's keeping me stuck in that moment, right? So, every time I hit the wall, I ask for a tool that will help me. When I was like, I found out about limiting beliefs. I found out that the way I see the world, that's the world I live in. And what I need is to change those subconscious programs that are running the show. And I found out about neurographics, and this is we're also doing a lot. So with just this work alone, I was able to rewire, my mindset, if you want to say it this way. It's more complex, but we can call it mindset. And saw that, oh, okay, wait a second. So I don't have to fight for my life. I don't have to, give up and say, well, it is what it is. And my life is just the way that it is. And there's nothing I can do about it. And be a creator and an architect of my life. And once I reached the point where I also said, there has to be something else that can reconfirm. I have a very stubborn brain, to be honest. And even though I was moving and growing, and a lot of people were saying, wow, like you are, such a example and we admire you. Deep inside, I knew like I'm literally just I'm crawling at this point. And I knew that there are so many things, but I also wanted a tool that will help me identify what is the best and optimal way for me. And that's where I covered numeric psychology. And when I opened up my chart and I read it, and it was clearly saying, you meant to be on stage, you meant to be creative, you meant to do, like a lot of beautiful things. You are a leader, you meant to lead, also a healer, you meant to serve people, you meant to, help them in their journeys. You went through all of these things because you meant to do this. In the ultimate, your soul mission is to be very introspective and shine the light and share your knowledge with other people. When I read this, it just reconfirmed what I felt. And at that moment, I said, okay, now I know the map. Now let me use all my tools in my toolbox to move forward. And within only 6 months, I changed my life 180 degrees, to be honest. From sitting on the couch, living with like roommates, being, depressed and anxious. At that moment, I was waking up every morning and I was like, I don't want to wake up. You know that feeling where you just don't want to even start the day because you have nothing you don't look like towards something, right? There's nothing for you to be excited about. There's only hardship and responsibilities and things, and you're not doing what you want to do. And at that moment, I was like, well, I don't even know what I want to do anymore because I was already so exhausted from the punches in my head, in my face, to my face. And then I realized that all of that was just loving nudging from universe saying, hey, I'm trying to push you into the correct direction. Why aren't you so stubborn, right? So I started my podcast. That's something that I wanted so like deep inside. I wanted to tell the stories. Like one of the path of me working with people is also opening up their stories and sharing with others so other people can look into this is my friend Caitlin, and can look at her story and say, wow, she is in the same path and I feel like lost, but after her story I want to follow it. I mean, like, give them hope, because without hope, honestly, there's nothing we can do here. So I started doing this. I always wanted to be in the movies, on actress. So I thought, why not to shoot my own movie and be in it? So I'm doing this right now, filming a documentary, and the big idea and big goal is to make it into the series of just not only me being on podcast, right, but that those series to bring women into the spotlight and show how we can serve each other and how by sharing our stories we can elevate others as well. And I started hosting retreats, and just amazing how doors opened up for me. and that's where I realized that the phrase, you don't even have to do anything if you're aligned with who you are and your authentic self and your higher self, because everything just flows into your life. Not to say I'm sitting on my couch watching TV and waiting. No, but I have so much energy. I wake up and I can't not wait to start the day. There's so much energy in me. When I'm reflecting at night, I'm writing what I've accomplished just to like celebrate those wins. I'm like, wow, I mean, that's just crazy. That's a lot. But I have more energy than ever. My body, I feel in my best shape. My health is amazing. I go and my circle, people around me, just everything changed. And I have so many beautiful and amazing people that I'm looking after. And I'm like, wow, that's just amazing. Like I admire you, you know, like, and I do the same for my community. Not to say that I have my dream car, I have my dream apartment, I have my studio right now. I'm making almost 10 times more than I was. So, like, not to say that those things, I don't want to say they don't matter. Of course, they matter. But they kind of were a result of me changing my energy and bringing my best self and stepping into myself. So transformation from the five transformational step of the key program. I wouldn't say transformation from within. That's the name of my company. So I have 5 steps and they came to me, and this program is the result of literally just like inhaling everything, trying on myself and seeing what works, and working with clients, obviously. And what is that common thing that we go through? Not to say that in this program we're mixing it. It's not we're gonna just be stuck in this step or this step. It's just the blueprint for us. And then I'll show you with our guest, I'll show you how it's gonna work. So the first one is discovery, awakening your truth. Why do we need to discover anything in our life? Because we need to see what is holding us back. What are those beliefs? What are those subconscious patterns that we circling around? What are those fears coming? Like, what is that, comparison, for instance, with other women? What is that, jealousy or grief or again, like a shame, or maybe you're afraid. We need to discover what's stopping us. Not all of them, they're going to be in your life at this moment. There could be one thing that we need to discover. We also need to see where you're at right now. We need to see what are your resources are, right? Because if you, let's say, a mom of 5 kids and you have 2 jobs, for instance, right? And you want to transform your life, then most likely your path will be way different than with, another woman who has no kids and maybe has different job requirements and different schedule, right? It cannot be the same. So that's why we need to see and do that discovery. I don't want to bore you with what exactly is in there. Wheel of life balance, all the steps where we analyze, our life. It's just think of it as we're going to discover everything right now, your point A, right? So then the next phase is release. Once we discovered what's blocking us, once we discovered in which area of life we want to concentrate on right now, is that 2 areas. One area, finances, relationships, self. What is that? Because of course, if we're gonna start and doing everything everywhere, probably gonna end up, just little pieces by pieces. But the biggest blind spot in your life will bring you the biggest results in all areas. I guarantee you, because I've seen it happen all the time. If you just concentrate on maybe 1, 2 areas in your life and you bring that up, I assure you that all the other areas in your life will also bloom and flourish. Then we go to the elevate. We are rebuilding your inner power. That includes boundaries, self-love, a confidence, right? And it's not that I'm going to be sitting there and saying, hey, you need to set boundaries. No, there is going to be exercises, practices. Everything has also meditations. All like my coaches, they will be helping us as well. So every part has the formatted practices that you need to take. You need to take, by the way, not all of people. Let's say this person needs, let's say, a mirror exercise. This person needs inner child wound healing, right? That because we need to elevate right now ourselves. This person needs to write 100 wins that they, proud of. And this person maybe needs to do something else. So all of those practices are within each phase. Align, dream bold, plainly, bravely. So in the aligned state, we're gonna do a new vision for us. We're gonna see what we want, where we want to go, what are the resources, what to do with this, what are the time drainers, the energy drainers. We're gonna assess all of that, because a lot of people think that they're just gonna think about something and it's gonna come just at them. No, it doesn't happen like this, because in order for you to bring something into your life, you need to let go of a lot of things that that right now are taking the space, right? Manifest is where we literally with you, I will open up your calendar, we do a lot of focus techniques, we set the goals, the time frames in the nurturing, loving way, and the resources you have right now, whatever works for you. Okay, let's go. So this is our first guest, Samantha. Think of her as a number one, right? Energy one, number one, the leader, the CEO, and she is very confident, or maybe not, who knows. So Samantha, she is high functioning and a high achiever, but she's burned out. She doesn't know how to delegate. Kind of, she's feeling that her success is her to-do list. And within the program, we use numeric psychology to reveal the beliefs for her. We used structured delegation and identify key energy drainers for her. We did neurographic sessions and nervous system regulation, because she was very, very tired and burned out. So in order for us to even let the transformation in, we had to upregulate her nervous system, right? We did a lot of feminine practices for her, so she can loosen up a little bit, so she can learn how to trust others. Because what you do what you do, let's say something in one area in life, most likely you're doing the same thing in another area of life, right? So after the program, Samantha now leads with clarity and calm, trust, collaboration, and radiates magnetic confidence, as you can see. By the way, interesting observation, but when I see people go through the program, their faces changes. They lights up. And it's so amazing. I pointed at one of my last programs that I did. I pointed it out, and because we just look at ourselves every day, so we don't really see any changes. But I'm like, hey, do you see? And then I did the screenshot of the Zoom in the beginning and the Zoom in the end. It was so funny because they're like, oh, and I lost some weight. It was interesting. Next one, Emily, number 2, diplomatic, caring person, right? Connector. Emily defined herself through relationships, avoided conflict, and feared rejections. Her constant giving made her feel invisible and emotionally depleted. So she couldn't make any decisions for herself. She was relying on other people. She was overthinking a lot. She couldn't make, any choices. What we did in the program, we explored relationship dynamic with numeric psychology. So she saw the patterns, and within that, we saw what to do with this. Release guilt using somatic boundary setting and emotional expressionist tools. There's a practice how to make decisions. And for each number through numeric psychology, this practice will change. So for her, we chose the practice where we were going, through the responsibility kind of thing with decision making through connecting. So it's a very interesting practice. So if you go into the program, you're going to see that. We introduce feminine practices and personalized affirmation and meditation. Every number in the numeric psychology in this program, it has different meditations and affirmations. It's not 5 meditations for everyone. There are literally different meditations for everyone. And after, now she sets loving boundaries, she makes bold decisions, and she doesn't hide behind someone, because she knows her worth, and she also seen and heard. Next, number 3, Luna, the energy of creativity. Before, we were flowing with ideas, but she didn't know how to which one, right, to start with. The fear of judgment, comparison. She was always like, what about this, what this person will think of me, what my parents will think of me, what my followers will think of me, right? She was emotional roller coaster. I wanted this today, and tomorrow I actually don't want to do this. So it was hard for her to even embody any one of her gifts, because she was just like, woo, ups and downs, ups and downs. So what we did, we reconnected her to her authentic expressions through numeric psychology. We released shame using neurographics, mirror work, and voice journaling. That's another thing that's going to be on the program. I'm going to keep it in the secret, but in the end of the program, you're going to receive, since I'm a very creative person and I want you to have the best time in this program, to have it light and joyful, and if there is a point of where you need to release and cry, we're going to be there for you, and it's going to be amazing transformation. I promise you. It's probably the most beautiful one in your life. But also, okay, I'm going to give you the secret. We're going to make the video journaling, and it's optional. Absolutely. You don't have to do this, but I think it's so amazing because you're going to journal at the very beginning and the end of the transformation. Every time and my team will edit it, and it's going to be beautiful, like short documentary for you, first of all. And you're going to see how you went through the stages, and you were like, wow, this is me. And I did this because I want your feminine energy and that power that you have within to be expressed in your fullest potential. That's my mission in life. I want to bring every woman to her queen energy. Next, help her choose meaningful projects to commit to, with the schedule, with the system, right? That the field, which project feels good. And not to say that she won't do any other projects, but she needed to start it with something, starting to actually start moving forward. Then the next one, after Luna now expresses herself confidently, radiates joyful authenticity, and becomes a creative inspiration for others. Clara, this will be energy of number 4, the Emperor, right? The woman who does everything for everyone. She is that base and reliable person, trustworthy person, but she also sacrifices herself in this dynamic. She does everything by herself, and she just thinks that this is the way it is. During the program, we uncovered mother patterns with numeric psychology and value-based goal settings, released guilt through nervous system soothing, breath work, and forgiveness practices. As you see, there is no lack of practices and tools that we use in this program. Absolutely none of them. If I see that this person requires something, we might, we need to maybe invite someone, an expert will do this. Practice yes, no boundary reset, time block, self-care, and morning tea rituals, because she likes tea. And when she brought this ritual, it gave her brain understanding that this is the time for her and she deserves it, right? She doesn't have to start day with caring for the world. Integrated sacred structure and weekly joy triggers anchored her transformation with affirmation focused on worthiness and sustainability. After, Clara now gives from overflow, not depletion, and she feels grounded, joyful, and unapologetically nourished. She feels her feminine energy, and she also learned how to ask for help and say no, by the way. Okay, next, Riley. Before, committed to 9 to 5 mindset and horrified of commitment to anything. She was literally, I don't want to do this. I feel like I'm in a box and my freedom is being taken away from me. Really, it was hard to focus on anything. No goals, just chaos pretty much. What we did, using numeric psychology, went to understand her mission and fear of stagnation, right? Because these people like to explore and they don't like to feel that they are just boxed somewhere because their energy is going down every day. Assign cyclical feminine planning freedom, anchor journaling and daily nature walks, and identify one soulful focus for alignment momentum, right? Again, very similar to number 3. We literally planned what she wants to do, what inspires her, like what, and this is also a process, by the way. It's not that like, oh, I want to do this. A lot of people, and if you're listening this, you might want to be one of them. Well, I was one of them as well. What do I like to do? And then I started redefining myself. There are ikigai practices, psychological practices, how to connect the dots and go back to your childhood and just find out those passion moments for you and start stacking them. But you need to start somewhere, right? So after, Riley now builds her life around autonomy and authenticity. She walks a path of self-trust, creativity, and soulful freedom, right? Next, Maya, number 6, nurturing, loving, also dependent on how people think about her, also didn't see her as beautiful, also tried to compare herself to other women, and she was like, no, I'm not gifted, I'm not created, these people love, Maya loves, beauty and music, and she's very artistic, and she loves to just see authentic beauty around her. She designs that as well, right? So, but again, she didn't believe in herself, and she was relying on other, like, external validation, right? So if they love me, I love me. If they don't love me, I don't love me, which obviously prevents you from living your full life. Program journey: explore self-suppression patterns through numeric psychology. We released guilt and overfunction with neurographics and reparenting work. Design daily peace. By the way, reparenting work is very interesting work. It's where you look at yourself from adult to adult, not from parent to child situation. Fascinating. Design daily peace rituals: slow mornings, mirror work, and solo walks. Thought boundaries, setting scripts, and support asking techniques. Created affirmations and meditation practice to help her feel seen, sacred, and sovereign. Maya now tends to herself with devotion. She feels rooted in her feminine energy and leads her life with grace, not exhaustion. Beautiful Maya. Next, Isla. So, deep soul, very introspective. It loves studying, psychological books, loves to dig deeper, doesn't really like small talks, very deep person. Program journey. Well, okay, before. She was stuck in overthinking and spiritual bypassing. She feared her own shadow and longed for emotional peace. So she just thought of, like, I'm a good girl. If I feel angry, this is bad for me, right? Number two can also feel this way, right? So we all probably had that situation in our life. So program journey. We unlocked her inner world using numeric psychology and archetype exploration. And archetype is another thing that we're going to be going through in the program, because what I found and the work of Carl Jung actually shows us that we connect through archetypes. There are universal archetypes that we can relate to. And what I found when I go through numeric psychology and I say number 3, or I say this is the goddess, let's say, can we take Aphrodite, right? For instance, then you're probably going to picture Aphrodite way faster than number 3, which is absolutely fascinating work. So it's also going to be there. And because we are embodying the feminine energy and feminine power through the archetype work, it's absolutely like mind-blowing how fast it works and how deep it goes. Introduced moon-based practices, grief journaling, and silence rituals. Continued work: assigned one soul aligned focus, healing, writing, or intuitive work. They really need to write something. Like with these people, they need to have journal almost like all the time, because they spiral in their own heads, and they need to put this in. So they, by the way, have a dream of just writing a book sometime, right? After, Isla now walks as an embodied mystic, whole, wise, and radiant. Her depth is no longer hidden. It's her power, right? Next one, Amanda. Beautiful, right? Result oriented, high achiever person, very structured, very fair. Amanda was ambitious but afraid of being seen. That's another thing. She avoided charging her worth and associated power with corruption. Again, fair, like being, it's like justice in a different way. What we did in the program: identify power blocks through numeric psychology and feminine archetypes, practiced voice activation, leadership embodiment, and pricing rituals. We rewrote money stories using NLP and subconscious healing. We created a high integrity business or purpose platform, and we developed affirmation, had a meditation series to anchor her leadership identity. We also, with Amanda, we went through flexibility practice and flow practice, right? And we went through the connecting through her emotions practice, because usually people like Amanda like to just kind of use their to-do lists and the hardworking people, like they're very hardworking people, as the shield from what they really feel. And that's obviously not a good life. Amanda now claims her voice, charges confidently, and leads with strength and grace. She is building her legacy on her terms. By the way, about the business platform and integrations, if there is a need for someone to have the steps for the business, we also do that as well. Next, Sage, beautiful Sage. So she is deeply empathic and spiritually connected, but constantly drained because she believes that helping meant self-sacrifice. And she didn't really charge for her services. She didn't know how to do this because she believed that, as she's serving people, this is pretty much should be free, right? So what we did in the program, map generational and karmic wounds using numeric psychology. We released emotional burden through cord cutting rituals and forgiveness work. We built energetic boundaries, emotional clarity lists, and replenishment routines. Designed her unique healing framework or mission, right? So she now understood, oh, okay, so this is what I do, and this is how much I can charge for it, and this is why people pay for it, right? Because once you embody this, you have that confidence that people also see in you. And anchored her journey with custom meditation and affirmations for sacred service and balance. And after, Sage no longer gives from depletion. She's amazing, she's beautiful, she's shining, she supports others from her fullness, leading as wise, grounded, intuitive guide. Yes, she is a beautiful mentor for other people as well. So this is what we do. Okay, so those are the guests. I want to say thanks to them for coming. And I wanted to show you how different people embody different, wounds in a way, what the issues they faced and how we can address it with the program, within the program. Again, I just want to re-emphasize that it's not the program that just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you have to go through it. It's something that is built with you once you get into the program. Next, what I want to tell you, so there's a couple things: Book of Life and the box. So the box, it's a manifestation box. It's technically the present for people who pay the deposit. And once they pay deposit, that is fully refundable. We have an interview with them. And once they say, yeah, I want to join the program, they get this box. It's really amazing. These cards are my guides and they just absolutely fascinating. I do this everywhere on my podcast, on YouTube videos. It's just so good. And then Book of Life on the left. So Book of Life, what it is, because I had this question. So as you can see, this is numeric psychology chart, all the numbers that you have. Now imagine how many numbers are there. And if we go in the program and we explore the main ones, right? All the main ones, and I'm doing the reading for you so you understand it. But then how do you do, like, there's so many of them. I am still till this day going back to my star and I'm like, oh, okay, this is okay, so I see this. Why? Interesting. So now let me do the neurographics really fast. Let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah, this could be a solution. So imagine this, we're doing every number in the program. It's going to take us years probably. So what we do with Book of Life, you having, based on your numbers, in the Book of Life, you have all the chapters, right, that are explaining every number that you have, plus journal prompts for those numbers. Like, let's say blocks, let's say if you have problems with setting boundaries, you're going to have the exercises there. And this Book of Life is designed and created after you get into the program, because it based on what you say, your numbers, and it's kind of like you just like, yeah, this is what I need right now. I don't want to give you Book of Life where there's going to be some sort of a exercise and you like, well, I don't have that, like I don't need that. Okay, I'll do this, but I don't have that, right? So what I'm saying is that the Book of Life is like fully customized and it's very thick. It's a lot of pages and every chapter has the each number. So not only you're going to have your numbers, but you're also going to have explanation for numbers. So now based on these numbers, how to calculate it, you can take your Book of Life and say you have a partner and you're like, okay, let me see. Hey darling, do you want I'll do the, like I'm this is numeric psychology, very fascinating. You open up his numbers and you're like, oh wow, okay, so you have this number 1 and like you got to learn how to delegate because like this is the main block. Also like, be careful with the ego and some like anger maybe. And he's like, wow, how do you know that? Thank you so much. This literally was on my mind and you just reconfirmed that I need to delegate it. Like I need to go like and like hire someone, an assistant. I'm just bringing you an example, but this is exactly how it works because all my girls who went through, by the way, all the interviews that my girl, and I chose like different ones so you can just connect with them as well. They're going to be linked in the description for this video. You can listen to what they say. Everybody say clarity. Everybody say permission slip. Everybody said I open up my energy and I finally start doing what I wanted to do all the time. And no longer I am lingering in the limbo, right? So the Book of Life not only giving you your Book of Life, but also gives you They're like, you number this, you number that. If you have kids, you can open up their numbers and see, okay, this, my child is inclined towards, let's say, sports more, or my child has number 7 and wow, it's introspective. So what could maybe some, analytical games, something like that. So that you're not going to spend money on bringing your child to the, activity that they don't like. And tons of bonuses on top of it, what you're going to have in the program as well. As I already mentioned, the movie, love it. The book of life, optional, depends on which package you have. The first one doesn't have it. The second one has the PDF. The third one has the actual book of life. That's the prices are a little bit different, right? Everyone has the manifestation box. There are the nervous system tool release over there. If you can see this, it's only one there, but like there are, I think, 3 angel cards and the abundance. It's actually the candle that really has the like all the abundance and all the energy there, and the little crystal for you in for your in the house. I have like tons of crystals everywhere. Yes, so this is the program. I hope I didn't skip anything. If I did, please contact me either through my email that is going to be linked in the description, or find me on Instagram, Julia underscore Dars underscore. Text me, DM me, and if you have any questions, obviously. And I hope I see you on the program. It's really something that I think very revolutionary, that no one had or has the similar practices. And I was always about not only energetically cleaning and growing, but also grounding it with practices, also refining it and bringing it to the world. Because if I don't do anything from the work I've just learned about myself, done through this work, I don't do this in my life, then it pointless, right? So I probably vote for everyone who I work with more than they are. I guarantee you. Then that's why I'm so engaged with everyone, because I'm like rooting for people again more than they are, especially in the beginning. All right, thank you so much. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. There is a contact form below. It's called pre-application form. You can also submit that form and I will contact you. Again, as I said, we're gonna have the call with you so I can know like what is the stage in your life and start writing your book of life. Obviously, the program is refundable. If you get into the program and in 2 weeks you're like, you know what, like I just don't want to, I don't know, I never had that, but I thought it's just to reassure you, I refund money. I don't set any, if you didn't do this homework, that's why I'm not giving you money back. I don't need anyone else money. I do it because this is my mission, and I also want people to be engaged, and I want people to want this. And if I see that the person, I had this one instance where the person just was literally, I don't know, it was a little bit of like chaos when she joined the group, and I just contacted her and said, look, I don't think you in the place and I can help you in this point. I want to refund you money because the piece in the container I have right now is very important. So here are your money, and I don't need them. So everything refundable, deposit is refundable. And yeah, it just secures the spot, because the price will go up, with each time I release, like let's say a promotional video, I will increase the price. So it will just ensure the lowest price for you and the best options, and the best service. I don't know, like literally taking you by the hand and doing your schedule with you, and identifying certain drainers. That's how deep we're going to go. All right. Thank you so much. Love you. And hopefully I see you soon. Bye.